Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Wellness FOURplay podcast. I am your host, Dr. Don D. Nettles, and the Wellness FOURplay podcast is for a day to hold off the gray. We're going to talk about all things wellness. Today, we're going to talk about general knowledge that is going to help you in wellness because it's going to help you implement certain things on how to partake of other things. So let's just call this into the broad-based knowledge category of wellness. So we're going to talk about the 4 states of matter. And why I chose to talk about this one tonight, I was doing a little research today, and I did not know of the 4th state of matter. I knew about solid, and I knew about liquid, and I knew about steam or gas. I studied those things in chemistry, but I didn't know about the 4th. The 4th is called plasma. And so the difference in the states of matter is depending upon how much energy is entered into the state. So let's talk about the obvious. And actually, I'm drinking something that has 2 of the 4 states of matter. We have ice, a solid, and we have water, a liquid of the same matter, the same combination of 1 hydrogen molecule and 2 oxygen molecules, also called H2O, which we know as water. So you start out with the solid form of water in the form of ice or snow. We're all familiar with that. You add a little energy, in this case, heat, to the ice or snow, and it melts and turns into the 2nd state of matter. The same hydrogen and oxygen molecules, which were once in a solid state of being a solid, are now in a liquid state because you added heat or energy. If you take that water and you continue to add energy, you take it into its 3rd state. It boils and turns into steam. Now, that was the limit of my understanding of, I thought, the 3 states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. Well, I learned there is a 4th, and it's called plasma. So let's use water as the example. So I'm going to go back to the solid state of water known as ice or snow. And again, remember, for a day to hold off the gray. So if you notice the wellness FOURplay, the 4 in FOURplay is not misspelled. It is intentionally spelled that way as a variation of the word foreplay. Because what is foreplay? Let's just talk and be candid. Foreplay is what you use, or you call it your mojo, to get in the mood, right? Well, I like to use this as the way to get in the mood for wellness by giving you 4 topics, 4 ideas. Sometimes you'll get 4 minutes on a certain topic, just elements of 4 as it relates to all kinds of wellness. So physical wellness, absolutely. But we're also going to be talking about financial wellness, relationship wellness, marriage wellness, family wellness, all kinds of different types of wellness. Because if you are not well in every aspect of your life, then you are not really experiencing wellness. So we want to cover wellness from top to bottom. So now back to the key players here. So solid form of water is ice. You add heat, it melts into liquid. You add additional heat, it boils into steam, which is the gas, the 3rd phase of matter. But if you continue to add heat to the steam, what happens is it will break apart. The water molecules in steam will actually break apart into individual hydrogen and oxygen molecules. Well, if you continue to add heat to the hydrogen and the oxygen molecules, you will break out ions and electrons in kind of a chaotic situation. And this is now superheated ions and electrons, which we know as plasma. So where do you see plasma? Well, you may have seen, it may be in your garage or maybe in parts of your house. Fluorescent light bulbs is gases, whether it be neon gas or whatever the gas is on the inside of that tube. When you continue to heat it, it breaks out into its individual ions and electrons and glows a certain color. You can see it in neon lights. You can see it in fluoride or fluorescent lights, like in your garage, maybe, but you can also see it in nature in the form of lightning. Lightning is what happens when supercharged electrons go through the air and hit and trigger the ions and the electrons because that are heated from the water vapor, also known as clouds. And then you get to experience a channel or a bolt of lightning. So it is the plasma form of water when you see in storms, rainstorms typically, is lightning. Pretty amazing. Now, it's not as readily available. You can't just go out and create it. You can't just, well, you can't. It's more random than the other three phases of matter, which is why most people probably don't know about the fourth state of matter called plasma, which is why I wanted to share it tonight. I knew of plasma, but I did not know it was the fourth state of matter. And you can go from ice or snow into water, into steam, superheat the steam into now breaking apart the hydrogen and oxygen molecules, continuing to heat it, breaking out the ions and the electrons, and continuing to heat it. And bam, you've got a bolt of lightning, which we call plasma. So how that works into wellness, I guess stay away from lightning. That's your wellness tip, because getting struck by lightning is never good. So that's how we kind of pounded a square peg into a round hole to make the fourth state of matter a wellness topic, but you're welcome. Stay away from lightning, especially when you're golfing and you're using something that could be a lightning rod. Don't go hold your 5-iron up in the air in a lightning storm, because that would just be silly. And you would now become a grounding rod and you would probably get electrocuted. So there's your wellness tip. Stay away from lightning and indulge in the other three phases of matter: the solid, the liquid, and the gas. There you go, boys and girls. Thank you so much for tuning into the Wellness FOURplay podcast. We will see you tomorrow with another episode that revolves around the number 4 or some kind of piece of information exchange that's going to come from me to you. And I think I'm going to bring Marcy in, my wife Marcy, in tomorrow's episode. So take a look out for that. But see you tomorrow. And this goes Monday through Friday, 4 a day to hold off the gray. Wellness principles coming to you with the Wellness FOURplay podcast. See you tomorrow. Have a great night. Take care. God bless.